Hey guys, so today I'm gonna react to Toei Animation video about anime crossover between Toriko and One Piece. So Toriko is gonna meet up with the Straw Hat Crew for the first time, which is pretty cool. I love this type of crossovers. We don't get enough of them, to be honest. But I do think that's why it reminds me when Cartoon Network used to do the same thing, doing crossover of Pop-Up Girls and with Samurai Jack, Ed and Eddie, etc. Like in those little kind of like ads before the show starts, but good ads or mini animation moments before the real show come up. Those things were really cool. Just a little rant on that. I kind of miss it. it's just Chopper being Chopper, and people probably think he's just a little cute pet. Underestimating him all the time. Mhm. Mhm. yeah, there were jokes already early on, even in pre-time skip when Tony Tony Chopper was seen as a backup food. People made jokes about that all the time. I mean, you gotta blame Luffy on that to be, to be fair. But yeah, Chopper is unfortunately seen like that. But he's actually a lot more useful than he looks. He's a great doctor and he's a pretty decent fighter. But I like seeing how Toriko's already seeing him as food. Mhm. I'm wondering where's Zoro after all the situations happening. I guess Zoro is lost. I bet he was looking for them, but he went somewhere. Now he's completely fucking lost as per his Joe. Uh, that's I just love that. I love the interaction. It's great. Chop is saying he tastes gross. oh. He didn't notice until the end. oh. I love how Toriko did not realize that Chopper was talking this whole time. That's pretty funny. But I'm like, what the hell is Zoro and why is Sanji barely reacting to though? Like, Sanji should be reacting a lot more than that, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was funny though. Luffy face here looks weird. I can't be seeing Nami and Sanji's face. Not bad crossover, I liked it, but it'd be nice to have more of a proper crossover, you can say. Uh, I like this scene too when Luffy and Toriko fighting for a short bit. It was cool though. This was nice. Little cute crossover. They should make more of these. They barely ever do this nowadays. I understand it's not that simple, but a whole anime crossover, bunch of series could be DC Marvel. I'm just saying, like a real DC Marvel type of style. That would be kind of cool, but extremely hard to do. I know that'd be overly complicated and probably wouldn't work out so well for many reasons. Let me read some of the comments. Anime crossovers are truly awesome. I agree. I forgot to like the video. Subscribe to Toei Animation. Luffy's probably thinking, let go of my merciful surprise. See, it's not just me who thinks Luffy thinks like that, or the joke back in the day. Still a thing today. I just realized Toriko was the first anime to do not only cooking adventures genre, but also the trend of them having a wolf companion. Was Toriko really the first one? Even including having a wolf companion? Maybe cooking adventure. Maybe. You can argue that a bit, but having a wolf companion? I don't think that's a Toriko first thing at all. Could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think Toriko was the first. Anime's been around for since the 1920s, so you can argue for over a century. So I don't think Toriko would be that unique. It's a typical shonen. I remember the movie crossover years ago between One Piece, Toriko, and DBZ. Oh yeah, yep, you're right. They had a whole crossover between those three. Toriko was pretty big back in the day. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that reminds of my age now, since I know what they're talking about. It's funny how so different each anime character looks when seeing them together in a crossover. Yeah, it makes it more obvious the different art style. But that's funny though. Yeah, it's just funny seeing people are saying the same thing that I was thinking now. Uh, Chopper being seen as the emergency food supply if something happens and they're lost and they need food. Pretty funny. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section if you enjoyed this crossover like I did. This is again this is from Toei Animation YouTube channel. It was from 1 day ago, so that would be August 22nd, 2025. But let me know if you guys like this crossover. If you also remember like that commenter and me, remember how back in the day they did a crossover with One Piece Dragon Ball Toriko. That was a big deal. Because Toriko was pretty big. The probably the big three for a while you can argue was One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. Because Dragon Ball really originated more from the 80s, even though Bleach and Naruto from 2000s really, and One Piece started from the late 90s. But you can argue that at one point it was more like Dragon Ball, Senseiya, and uh, Fist of North Star, Hokuto no Ken. I will argue those were the big three back in the 80s. So you talk about when Dragon Ball really originated, the big three back then it would be arguably Sensei, Dragon Ball, and Hokuto no Ken. You can even argue, you can switch some around and add Yu Yu Hakusho in there. There are a lot of big series in the 80s. You can definitely mix things around, but you can argue some definitely big three or big fives. And then 90s came in. You can argue it was really more like late 90s. Sailor Moon be a huge one, definitely One Piece. Pokemon, maybe. I guess we can argue if you want to separate things by decade of when they originally came out. Then 2000s, definitely Naruto Bleach would have been together. Maybe Toriko would be in part of that. Uh, in this type of shonen, if you want to combine shonen more from the decades, to be more accurate. But anyway, let me know in the comment section if you like this crossover and what are your personal big threes. From the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. You can have 1970s. I arguably speaking, 1970s didn't have too many amazing anime series. They had pretty good ones. Yusa Yasura was like really late 70s, though, like 1979. But technically still from the late 70s. But most of it's more from the 80s. But you can argue there are a lot of good series in the 80s, to be honest. 70s, I think more mid to late 70s, you got more interesting stuff, but I think 80s was a big boom for a lot of big anime manga series, in my opinion. And then 90s kept going with that, 2000 as well. But I think 80s really was a good start of so many good series. Gundam, Senseiya, Hokuto no Ken, Fist of North Star in English. Um, there were other ones I just said it too before. Yu Yu Hakusho. If you talk about big battle type of anime series, we also have Kami Rama's Rama, Rama half, or one half, whatever you guys want to describe it, or say it. Not sure which way is the correct way. Some people say Rama half. I say Rama half or Rama, but some people say Rama one half, which I think is kind of inaccurate. But whatever, I think that's how they did in the English dub translation too. But it doesn't really matter. There are a lot of good series. 80s, in my opinion, was a good boom. But I'm not in the comment section what are your personal big threes and if you enjoyed this crossover like I did. What's your favorite Toei Animation anime? What anime from Toei Animation Studios, is a favorite? For a lot of people, probably One Piece. That's a huge one. Or Dragon Ball. That's another big one too. So depends what you guys like. For me, it's a tough one. One Piece is definitely a big one. But I have my criticism of Toei Animation for many anime series where I think they did a pretty bad job with the whole fillers early on and for a long time for this long series, and they got better, decades later. But they were not that amazing, arguably speaking. They got better over time in found the manga more or less filler and better animation. Just saying, but they're not the highest quality. But let me know in the comment section what's your favorite. All right, guys, and all right. So besides that, um, if you like the video, like and subscribe. If you watch this TikTok, follow us on TikTok. And again, you can also support us on Patreon if that's feasible for you. All right, guys, have a good weekend. And don't forget to also watch animes that are coming out today. I think today My Dress Up Doll is coming out. My wife and I already watched Down Down on Thursday because Down Down Thursdays, is ongoing thing. And we have stuff we're gonna watch on Sunday too. So we have more stuff we're gonna watch today. I think so. A lot of it's gonna be romance, to be honest. But let me know also before I finish what you're gonna watch today, since today's Saturday. And if you've been watching Down Down too, which again I've been enjoying a lot. Down Down just been great, very fun and great progress in the romance. But all right, guys, have a safe day.